Boys and girls, we are on lesson 26, the guided practice, on page 280 or 270, depending on which version of the instruction book you have. So we're going to answer questions 11, 12, and 13, and then you're going to do the independent practice on your own. So let's get started with question number 11. And it says, which question is statistical and which is not? Explain how you know. So we've got two questions here. Let's take a look at this first one. What is your favorite Olympic sport to watch? Now, if we were to ask this question to your family, you might get all sorts of different answers. You ask your dad and he likes boxing. You ask your mom who likes gymnastics, your grandma who likes the track and field events. Maybe your little sister likes the downhill skiing and your brother likes swimming. So if we ask this question of different people, we're going to get all sorts of different answers. And that means that because our answers are different, we're getting a lot of variability. So this is a statistical question. So go ahead and mark that with an S. Now let's take a look at our second one. When are the next Olympic Games? If you were to ask this question, you would get an answer, and it would be an exact answer. I'm just going to make up a date. But let's say August 8th through August 18th are the Olympic Games. So you are getting a specific date. And in this specific date, there is just one answer. So we're going to say that this is a non-statistical question. So go ahead and mark that with an NS. Now, to answer the question below, we're going to say that the first question is statistical. Let's write that down. When asking this question, we're going to get many different answers. So that shows a lot of variability. The second question is non-statistical because there is only one answer to that question. Okay, so you should have written down what I have written down or something really close to it. So we're telling the difference between statistical questions, which show lots of variability, and non-statistical questions, which have an exact answer. Let's go to question number 22, which is analyze. Which is a better statistical question to ask your classmates if you are interested in finding out which movies sixth graders enjoy watching? Explain. If we take if we take a look at this first question, what is the most recent movie you saw? Now, we could ask that question to our fellow sixth graders, and we would get a variety of answers. This is a statistical question. Somebody may have seen Call of the Wild. Somebody else may have recently just seen Frozen 2. We're going to get different answers for this. But does that necessarily tell us what the sixth graders enjoy watching? Not especially. It mostly just tells us what they last watched. So let's take a look at the second question and see if it does any better. The second question says, what are 3 of your favorite movies? So if we ask that question, we're going to find out what kind of movies that they like. What are 3 of their favorite movies? So it is evident in this analyze question that the second question, this one right here, what are 3 of your favorite movies, is a better statistical question. Let's write that down. Okay, the reason it's a better question is because it lets us know what 6th graders enjoy. And we just want to mention, let's mention that first question, and we want to say why this is a good of a question. The first question tells us what 6th graders saw recently, but not what they enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to the last question, the predict question, number 13. Which statistical question would result in more variability? Explain. So here's our first one. Do you own a scooter and or bicycle? So there is some variability in this question. We're going to get some kids who own a scooter. We're going to get some kids who own a bicycle. And we're going to get some kids who own both. So basically, there's 3 different answers we can get. Some variability, not a lot. Let's go ahead and look at the second question. And the second question is about how many hours per week do you practice in sports? Now, if we were to ask this of our 6th grade class, if we were to ask all 32 students, we get lots and lots of different answers. We get some students who practice 12 to 15 hours a week. We get some students who practice 10, 8. Maybe there are some students who don't practice sports at all. So we're going to get lots and lots of different answers for question number 2. So this question number 2 is going to give us more variability. Let's write that down. The second question will give us greater variability. Because why, guys? Because the number of hours that someone participates is going to be different. It will be different for each person. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this all makes sense to you. Question 11, 12, and 13. If you have, or if you're confused, if it's not making sense, if you're having any trouble with it whatsoever, please give me a call or a text or send me an email. I'm happy to help. So we've done the guided practice together. I'm going to leave you on your own for the independent practice. The independent practice asks you to write some statistical questions on your own, and it asks you to the questions that you would be asking the students in our class. And then it wants you to make a line plot of that information. You can go ahead and do that, but because we aren't able to ask each other, you're going to have to kind of make that information up. And I totally understand. We're just going to have to pretend that you actually asked 10 students. So good luck with all of this. Thank you for sticking with me, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye, guys.